Eos's Natural Gas Knowledgebase is designed for estimating natural gas transmission, distribution, and delivery from cross-country pipelines down to the meter at the point of use. The knowledge base contains a model that lets you quickly take off a regulator, metering, or gauge station for your estimates. Let's take off a regulation station using this multi-purpose model. This model provides the piping and equipment, supports, a skid if needed, and valves for the station. Want a graphical representation of the model or a better idea of what it provides? You can display the graphics. Don't want to see the graphics anymore? Just turn them off. This model includes the option to adjust the productivity. Let's say we're estimating a typical regulation station with 6-inch mains. It doesn't have valves coming in before it splits, but then it splits into 2 trains. In this case, the trains are also 6-inch pipe, although they could have a different diameter. The station has a header that splits through a T into 2 Ls. You can add pressure gauges on the header if needed. In this case, you don't need a pressure gauge on the header. Next up is the pipe specification for the API 5L pipe. Grade B is the default pipe grade, but you can select a different grade from the list. You have a choice of seamless or welded pipe. Several pipe schedule options are available. Let's keep class 150 for the valve and flange pressure class. And you want the pipe painted. You're providing ball valves at each end for the train pipe and equipment configuration. There are 2 duplicate trains of gas equipment for this takeoff. You're specifying the contents of each one. You can add a filter, independent slam-shut valve, and monitoring regulator to the station. The monitoring regulator is specified as pilot-operated with slam-shut. It pre-fills with a 6-inch diameter, but you can set a smaller diameter. Piping is needed to get from the ball valve to the regulator. The main regulator type is pilot-operated. The main regulator is also 6-inch. And there's some pipe in between the monitoring regulator and the main regulator. There's a pressure relief valve after the main regulator. It has a 1-inch branch. Note that you could add a meter and a non-return valve if needed. Let's add more pipe after the main regulator. And let's add pressure gauges to each train, and vents, drains, and purge points. You can mount the pipe and equipment on a skid. The assembly calculates the skid length and width based on your entries for the model. This calculation is based on a minimum spacing of 6 feet between the trains. Let's change the minimum spacing between the trains to 4 feet. The assembly updates the skid width to 4 feet to reflect this change. That completes the takeoff for a typical regulation station. Next, let's generate the model to the estimate. Let's take a look at our takeoff. Here's the regulation station. It includes the skid, valves, pressure relief valves, piping for the trains, more piping for the trains, headers or manifolds, regulators, pressure gauges, and vents and drains. Your estimate contains a complete regulation station and all its piping and equipment. The model takeoff for the regulation station comes to a little under $250,000. The total includes all of the add-ons shown on the totals page. You can configure the add-ons and modify the labor rates, productivities, and material prices as needed for your company. Need to estimate a regulation, metering, or gate station? It's as easy as completing the interview for the gas pressure regulation, metering, gate station model, and generating the model to the estimate spreadsheet. Your estimate will contain a complete station with the necessary material and equipment.